airport landing.
التوقيت المحلي لتمام الساعة 7 صباحا. استعداد من أجل سلامتكم نرجو منكم البقاء جالسين في مقاعدكم وإبقاء أحزمة المقاعد مربوطة بإحكام إلى أن تتوقف الطائرة توقفا كليا ويتم إطفاء إشارة ربط أحزمة المقاعد. يرجى أخذ الحيطة والحذر عند فتح الخزائن العلوية والتأكد من أخذ جميع أغراضكم الشخصية معكم.
In the morning. For your safety, please remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened until the aircraft has stopped completely and the seatbelt sign has been switched off. Please take care when opening overhead stowages and ensure that you have all your personal belongings with you as you leave the aircraft. Kindly remember that smoking is not permitted until you're within a designated smoking area of the airport. You may switch on your mobile phone now if it is within reach of your seat area. Diamond First and Pearl Business Class guests when use the fast track facility at immigration.
Hotel, just relax.
Thank you.
सर आप मेरे साथ बैठना पसंद करेंगे? मिलन जी आप मेरे साथ बैठना पसंद करेंगे?
बेचारे का रैगिंग, अभी रैगिंग छोड़ो सर।
मेरा ब्लड प्रेशर
वो जो आपकी बात सुन के सर हमें बैक पैपर की एडवर्टीजमेंट याद आ गई।
मेरी तो
हम तो बैक पैपर को दूर से भी नहीं देखते हैं। लेकिन हाँ दोस्ती यारी सबसे करते हैं।
यार जो ब्लड प्रेशर ऊपर चढ़ा हुआ है ना अब जाके पहले वही काम करना पड़ेगा। चलिए ना आपके सामने प्रेशर चेक करूंगा। आइडिया ये देखो गलती सबसे होती है, अगर गलती करके इंसान सीख जाए और दोबारा ना करे।
जी बिल्कुल सर,
तो फिर तो वो
ये बात बिल्कुल आपने सही फरमाई। गलतियों से जो ना सीखे उसे कोई फायदा नहीं है, गलती से बिल्कुल सीखना चाहिए। मैं आपको इतना विश्वास जरूर दिलाऊंगा सर, ये टूर आपका सही में बहुत अच्छा रहेगा एंड इट्स अप टू यू, यू विल श्योरली एंजॉय। एक और चीज़ जो मैं आपके अभी जो कह रहा था, आपसे जो एक गुजारिश कर रहा था कि थोड़े अपने पुराने दिनों की भी यादें थोड़ा ताज़ा कीजिए। हम यहाँ पे जब भी कोच में सफ़र कर रहे हैं तो अंताक्षरी वगैरह ज़रूर कीजिए एंड दैट रियली इट्स अ कीजिए, क्योंकि यहीं से रिश्ता बनता है और रिश्ता जितना गहरा हो, जितना तगड़ा हो, उतना अच्छा है।
एसोसिएशन जो है ना, जो बिजनेस एसोसिएशन है या हाउसिंग सोसाइटी है कब बनती है? जब कोई प्रॉब्लम आए तो तब बनती है, उसको हल करने के लिए।
आज वी आर इन सिटी ऑफ लंदन। लंदन सिटी का अगर आप वक्त देखेंगे तो भारत से 4.5 घंटे पीछे हैं, तो आप अपनी घड़ियाँ मिला लीजिए।
Good morning. This is Hotel Premier Inn. This is near airport, Heathrow Airport. And this is our room number 1159. We are ready for checkout. It's about 6:15 in the morning. This is our room. This is the toilet, the bed. It's a nice, beautiful, cozy room. It's just above the reception of the hotel. And that is a restaurant, I suppose. This is the main entrance. Heathrow Airport from outside. One plane is landing. Our hotel coming. Our tour manager.
Hello.
Good morning.
Morning. Sir, how are you?
Avarani is waiting outside the hotel. Battery operated. Nothing. देखा है हाँ ये छे तो बैटरी कार जीवड़ू अभी इज इंटरेस्ट बैटरी कार and this bus goes to
Hello.
Hi. What's your name?
Rahul.
Rahul. Not Rahul Gandhi, na? In Gujarat, we had one chief minister called Chimanbhai.
Yeah, Chimanbhai Patel.
Yeah. So during his tenure, there was some political problems.
Yeah.
Everyone has started changing their name from Chiman to other name.
Okay, please settle down.
देखो ये वाली अच्छी है आपकी नहीं आई बस आपको खींच रहे थे
नहीं हमें
हमने बाहर में खिंचा लिया हम दोनों ने
Good morning.
Good morning.
No, I want a loud good morning. Everybody has had their breakfast. Very good. Thank you so much. Okay. So, did you all leave anything in the hotel?
No,
Your passport
memories.
with you?
Memory card.
Your passport with you? तो ये स्वामीनारायण मंदिर में सबसे पहले जाएंगे. Now, as we all know that we are half an hour late because 7:45 was the time, but it's okay for the first day. Okay, but again, as I have wasted my 15 minutes over here. We will have to cut short on one of our itineraries. Okay, cut short does not mean that we will not go. We will go, but the time duration which will be given to you will not be equal to what it was supposed to be. 15 minutes here and there will happen. Okay, so this mandir, okay, this mandir is built of limestone and Italian Carrara marble. When I say now, when we will be passing Italy, I will show you the mountains of Carrara marble. Okay, now what is the speciality about this Carrara marble is that whether it does not matter whether the weather is cold or hot, this marble does not change its atmosphere. ये मार्बल का जो मतलब जैसा है रहना चाहिए, मतलब ठंडी में ठंडा नहीं पड़ता और गर्मी में गर्म नहीं होता, ये इस तरह का मार्बल है. सीजन यस. तो approximately 2,800 tons of limestone and 2,000 tons of Italian Carrara marble. ठीक है. और ये जो उसका जो कंस्ट्रक्शन है, उसका जो आर्किटेक्चर है वो इंडियन स्टाइल है. इसका मतलब ये है कि इसके जो आर्किटेक्ट्स है वो इंडिया से है, जैसे राजस्थान, गुजरात, यहाँ से है इसके आर्किटेक्चर्स.
Okay. When the guide will come?
Yeah, we'll definitely. Don't worry.
All right. So these stones were actually imported from Italy to India. वहाँ पे इसका आर्किटेक्चर हुआ और वहाँ से फिर यहाँ पे लाए गए शिप से। तो ये जो है टेम्पल, इसको 5 से 7 साल लगे बनाने में। इटालियन करारा का मार्बल का मंदिर है। वी विल विजिट द टेम्पल। अभी मंदिर के अंदर कैमरास अलाउड नहीं है, तो हम क्या करेंगे, सबसे पहले उतरेंगे। ओके, कैमरास आपके बस में रहेंगे। मैं आपको टाइम दूंगा, उस टाइम में आपको वापस आना है। अंदर जाके पैर वैर पड़ने हैं, बोलना है भगवान अगले 11 दिन है, जरा अच्छे जाने दो, मजा आने दो, फोटोज लेने दो, बहुत जगह घूमने वाले हैं, सेफ रखो, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं चाहिए बीच में, सब चीजें बोल के अपनी खुशी के लिए अपने जो प्रेयर्स है वो मांगेंगे कि लाइफ में बरकत आने दो और 100 साल और जीने दो।
इंडिया को अच्छा बनाओ,
इंडिया को एकदम डेवलप कंट्री बनाओ।
नरेंद्र मोदी आ जाए कल।
हाँ, अब की बार मोदी सरकार आ जाए
आएगी।
तो ऐसे सब बोल के फिर बाहर आना है।
बेचारा फंस जाएगा, होना तो है उसे कुछ। इंडिया में क्या कर सकता है?
नहीं होगा सर, आपके कंट्रीब्यूशन से।
देखते जाओ आप भी।
ओके, तो वो कंप्लीट होने के बाद हम प्रोसीड करेंगे रॉयल एल्बर्ट हॉल की तरफ। वहां पे हमें अपना गाइड मिलेगा। ओके, तो गाइड के साथ हम चलेंगे सिटी टूर पे। नॉर्मली हम लोग स्टॉप नहीं लेते बकिंगहम पैलेस के अलावा, पर मैं कोशिश करूंगा जहां हो सके वहां मैं एक स्टॉप लूं। ओके,
वी अप्रिशिएट।
थैंक यू सर। क्योंकि होता ये है, अगर हम जब सिटी टूर पे जाएंगे तब आपको पता चलेगा कि नॉर्मली ये टूरिस्ट सिटी सेंटर, ये एक टूरिस्ट एरिया है, तो सिर्फ हम नहीं जाते वहाँ पे, हमारे अलावा और भी लोग होते हैं। लोगों से याद आया, मैक्सिमम विजिटर्स टू यूरोप सबसे नंबर 1 पे है चाइनीज। जब मैं चाइनीज बोलता हूँ तो उसमें कोरियन भी आते हैं, जापानीज भी आते हैं, क्योंकि फर्क नहीं समझ में आता। और सेकंड नंबर पे है इंडियंस। ज्यादातर जगहों पे जब हम जाएंगे, जैसे माउंट एटलस, यूंगफ्राउ, लीडो, आप देखोगे कि ये तो फॉरेन लगता ही नहीं है, सब इधर इंडियंस ही दिखते हैं। इस वजह से, क्योंकि वो नंबर 2 ट्रैवलर है यूरोप के लिए। ठीक है, तो इतने टूरिस्ट आते हैं। देयर आर ऑलमोस्ट 17 to 18 मिलियन travelers each year, 17 to 18 million travelers every year जो यूरोप आते हैं। अब दूसरी बात ये कि जब मैं बोल रहा हूँ 17 to 18 मिलियन पीपल, तो इसमें नंबर 1 तो है चाइनीज और जापानीज, बट उसके बाद हम हैं, लेकिन उसके अलावा भी लोग आते हैं। जैसे स्विट्जरलैंड में 4 दिन छुट्टी है, चलो फ्लाइट पकड़ के जाते हैं। फ्लाइट का टिकट बहुत सस्ता है अगर डोमेस्टिक फ्लाइट हो, जैसे फ्रांस से लंदन आना है या स्विट्जरलैंड से लंदन आना है, ओनली 70 यूरोस। लेकिन उसके लिए आपके पास कोई बड़ी सी बैग नहीं होनी चाहिए, छोटी सिर्फ कैरी ऑन बैगेज चाहिए जो आप फ्लाइट के ऊपर लेके जा सकते हैं। क्या रहेगा? एंटरटेनमेंट सब इधर जिधर भी एंटरटेनमेंट लिखा रहेगा वो आपको फॉलो करना है। वो फॉलो करेंगे तो आप बराबर पहुंच जाएंगे। इमीडिएटली जैसे आपका फोटोज निकालना हो जाएगा, आप बढ़िए चेंबर ऑफ हॉरर्स इमीडिएटली कंप्लीट करके आप जाइए ब्लैक कैब्स की तरफ। ब्लैक कैब्स में आप कुछ नहीं कर सकते, मतलब आप घाई नहीं कर सकते, क्योंकि वो गाड़ी अपने हिसाब से चलती रहती है, तो उसमें थोड़ा समय जाएगा। और इसके बाद 4D शो, वो 4D शो तो है सिर्फ 10 मिनट का शो, लेकिन फिर उसके लिए लाइन इतनी लंबी होती है कि आपका नंबर आते आते फिर 2 घंटा लग गया। इसके लिए मैं बोल रहा हूँ, अगर आप सब कंप्लीट करके पहले ही उतर जाके खड़े रहेंगे, 4D शो कंप्लीट करके वापस आएंगे। अच्छा खासा टाइम दूंगा, ऐसे नहीं कि आप एंट्री करो और आधे घंटे में बाहर आ जाओ, फिर वो तो ऐसा हो गया जैसे घुसे और बाहर आ गए। लंदन में आके मैडम टूसर छुआ और घर चले गए, ऐसा होता है, तो वैसा नहीं होने देंगे। तो अच्छा वक्त मिलेगा। और प्लीज़ भूलना मत, हमें किसी भी हालत में 5:30 से 6 के बीच में हमको लंदन से निकलना है हैरिज के लिए। हैरिज HARWICH, हैरिज वो जगह है जो UK और इंग्लैंड के बीच में एक चैनल है जिसको इंग्लिश चैनल बोलते हैं। अटलांटिक ओशन और नॉर्थ सी को कनेक्ट करती है इंग्लिश चैनल। तो ये जो इंग्लिश चैनल है, इस पे से हम सेल करेंगे। हमारी फेरी है, हमारा क्रूज है। अभी क्रूज सुन के ये मत समझिए कि वहाँ कसिनो होगा, ये होगा, वो होगा। वहाँ पे ड्यूटी फ्री शॉप्स होंगे, लेकिन कसिनोज नहीं है। आपका डिनर फेरी पे होने वाला है। उसका जो बोर्डिंग है वो 10:30 बजे बंद हो जाता है, क्योंकि 11:30 बजे फेरी चलने चालू होती है। और हमको पहुंचने के लिए लगते हैं, क्योंकि अभी बहुत सारे लोग उस फेरी से फ्रांस जाते हैं, तो ट्रैफिक भी रहेगा। जैसे अगर समझो आज हमें एयरपोर्ट जाना होता, तो जैसे ट्रैफिक मिलता है एयरपोर्ट के लिए, उसी तरह से उसके लिए भी ट्रैफिक होता है। तो बहुत ज़रूरी है कि हम अपना टाइम का पालन बराबर से करें, क्योंकि अगर बोट मिस हो गई तो आज का दिन कहीं नहीं गया, क्योंकि एक बोट यहाँ लगती है और एक बोट वहाँ लगती है। तो वहाँ से जब फ्रांस की छुट्टी है तो यहाँ से लंदन की छुट्टी है, तो 2 ही है, इसके अलावा कुछ भी नहीं कर सकते। वो हैरिज जो है वो कोलचेस्टर है, कोलचेस्टर करके एक जगह है।
अच्छा अच्छा, नहीं वो बाहर किया।
नहीं वो अपना लीडरशिप का बोल दिया ना, लीडरशिप के बारे में। पैसे
It can also be called as Hayes and Harlington. Hayes and Harlington. Hayes. To be precise, Hayes.
Mr. Johnny.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please see this.
Pay the balance sheet. Request you to pay balance sheet cost as below. Original cost 194. Lido you provide utility free. Net tool cost 187.
Sorry man. Like that. देखो जी, there is a saying. Please, just listen. ये नया MBA का कोर्स चला फॉरेन यूनिवर्सिटीज के। तो दिल्ली में जितने भी फॉरेन यूनिवर्सिटीज के उन्होंने एक एसोसिएशन बनाई और वेरियस कंपनीज को बुलाया अपना वो डिनर सुबह एक्सप्लेन के हम क्या करने जा रहे हैं।
पेट्रोल पंप विदाउट एनी अटेंडेंस।
यहाँ से
योरसेल्फ।
1 घंटे की फ्लाइट होगी। टेस्को काफी इंडिया में खोला ना टेस्को। टेस्को इज दैट retail chain ना, like Walmart.
Yeah.
समीर इसी में गया ना वो सिटी वाला।
कहने का बाकी है तो कोई सुन भी ध्यान भी नहीं दे रहे। हाथ उठाओ खाली, बाद में देगा तो भी चलेगा।
क्वेश्चन उल्टा पूछा ना आपने, किस किस ने दे दिया ऐसा पूछना था आपको। तो सब आप खड़ा थे।
Your phone rang as well. Somebody phoned you. They're gonna.
जो आखो रोड पूरा खाली है, रोड पूरा खाली है तो भी कोई नहीं जाएगा। अगर इंडिया में तो तुम सब निकल जाएंगे।
साहब गुजरात में तो इससे भी फास्ट है,
हर एक जगह पे।
चीफ मिनिस्टर का गाड़ी आ रहा हो, रेड लाइट है तो भी रुक जाएगा। तो आने वाले दिनों में तो क्या का डिसिप्लिन पता लग रहा है ना। इतना एग्जैजरेट कर दिया मोदी ने एक्सपेक्टेशन, कभी पूरा नहीं होगा।
No, just thinking. I got to turn this around first. That's all.
Kamina and temple we have come.
Yeah, I turn it around, yeah, it's not a problem. I just asked him if the gate open, it's easier for me to...
Oh yes.
Look. Oh. That's why I turn it around, yeah. I just asked him, was it open?
Far better. Yeah, Delhi का.
Everybody wants time to take photos.
अहमदाबाद का भी बहुत अच्छा.
सबको फोटो निकालने भी है, ठीक है. यहाँ पे ये अपना सिद्धिविनायक मंदिर है नहीं, जहाँ पे लंबी लाइन होती है. यहाँ पे आप इमीडिएटली अंदर जा सकते हो, ठीक है. तो आप बाहर चलने के बाद सब ग्रुप में ही चलेंगे और मुझे इकट्ठा ही मिलेंगे सब लोग, ठीक है. मैं टाइम दूंगा. आई होप सबके टाइम ब्रिज टाइम के हिसाब से चल रहा है.
हमारे लिए छोड़ दे भैया, बस सर वगैरह. हाँ,
1 second.
पर्स लेके जाएंगे नहीं? पर्स कितनी बड़ी है? ये पर्स.
If you want to take purse, but again you're losing on time. Okay? Because if I say that you have to be back in 15 minutes, then you have to open your purse. उसमें ही 15 मिनट चले जाएंगे.
पर्स इधर ही रखो.
हाँ, बस में ही रख दीजिए. फिर बाद में हम लोग जब एक बार आप सब लोग बाहर आ जाएंगे, फिर आके एक फोटो निकालिए. जो पहले आएगा वो फोटो निकालते बैठ जाएगा फिर, ठीक है.
यहाँ पे कौन आएगा? हमारे सिवा कोई आएगा?
फोन भी नहीं रख सकते. फोन रख सकते हैं.
फोटो नहीं निकाल
फोन तो
सकते.
रख सकते हैं. फोन रख सकते हैं.
Believe me, I'm coming back from Switzerland. I'm sweating. That's the best part. I love doing this. Yeah, then I mean, for last 10-15 days, I haven't been sweating at all. Today is the right day. Hi.
कुछ नहीं, आज आप पसीने की कमाई खाएंगे.
सही है. नहीं, मैं रोज पसीने रोज मेहनत की खाता हूँ.
नहीं स्विट्जरलैंड में
वहाँ मेहनत की खाता हूँ, आज पसीने की. Okay, let's get off. Royal Albert Hall is a concert hall. This concert hall was initially made by Queen Victoria, okay, in memory of her husband, because okay. So, little bit about United Kingdom. Have we heard about United Arab Emirates?
Yes.
It consists of certain countries. वहाँ पे मर्चेंट्स लोग अपना दुकान खोलते थे, जो एक्चुअली में गिरा तो नहीं, लेकिन उसको मॉडिफिकेशंस चालू, उसको यूज चालू. फ्रांस वो टाइम पे इतना स्ट्रॉन्ग था कि हर बैटल में जीतता था. लेकिन जब नेपोलियन बोनापार्ट, जो फ्रांस के किंग थे, फ्रांस के रूलर थे, जिसको बोलते हैं GRA, ग्रांडे रिकार्डे अनुराले. So I know it's difficult, of course, we don't know these languages. There's transportation है, वो है ट्यूब्स माने ट्यूब, अंडरग्राउंड रेलवे, मेट्रोज, लंदन बसेस. अगर जा नहीं पाती है ब्रिज के नीचे से, तो ये टावर ब्रिज बीच में से खुलता है. इसको बैस्क्यूल सस्पेंशन बोलते हैं. वो बीच में से खुलता है, बोट पास होती है, फिर बंद हो जाता है. यहाँ का एक रिकॉर्ड स्टाइल है. ये इसलिए क्योंकि यहाँ का एक लॉ है, अगर कुछ भी मॉडिफिकेशंस करने होते हैं घर को, बिल्डिंग को, तो उसको अंदर से किया जाता है, बाहर से उसको कुछ नहीं कर सकते. ये लंदन का हेरिटेज है, इसको कुछ नहीं कर सकते बाहर से. जो भी मॉडिफिकेशन करना है वो अंदर से करना पड़ता है।
माणसों जो आदमी मानता कहाँ तो कार में इनका बिल्डिंग में
What is the name of this road?
It's Holland Street. तो रोमन ने जो है वो टाइम पे ये जगह का नाम लंदन नहीं था, तब था लंडोनियम, इसको लंडोनियम, फिर इसे लंदन कहा गया था। तो सबसे पहले इसका नाम था लंडोनियम। किसी का एक्सीडेंट हो जाता है तो ट्रैफिक होने के वजह से वो इमरजेंसी रोड से पुलिस एम्बुलेंस इमीडिएटली एक्सीडेंट एरिया पे पहुंच सकती है। यहाँ पे पुलिस बहुत कम दिखेंगे आपको। Albert Hall. Okay, please do not get off. Please be seated. Give me 5 minutes. Let me have a word with the tour guide and then we proceed. Just
ये डाल के रखो।
Edu at Albert Hall. पॉल्यूशन बहुत ओछू है ना ये।
I will stay there. Come to
चलते रहो तुम।
अभी मिलेगा मैडम उसको मैं रुका के नहीं रखना था।
हाँ अंदर।
चलो लेट्स स्टार्ट।
ये ऊपर का कार्विंग वगैरह
You want the pass?
Statue
When you come
from this side.
चलो आपने અહીંયા છો
તું જા ને હું છું અહીં. Thank you. चलो.
Okay, it is law in this country and all of Europe to wear a seatbelt. Not so bad here, but if you get to Paris and to Rome, they can actually put a policeman on board, and if you are found not wearing your seatbelt, you can be fined €1,000.
Only.
Okay, so you're not allowed while the coach is in motion. There are two people who are allowed to stand up in the coach while the coach is in motion: me and your tour manager. So no running up and down the corridor doing this, that and the other, you know, because that is illegal to do. And if it's found so, the coach driver can get fined, and he will then ask you for the money. So that's the nasty bits out of the way. And so welcome here to London, and my name is Tim, and we're going to try and show you as many of the sights of London today as possible. What we're going to do is head down towards Buckingham Palace to start with for the 12 o'clock guard change. We're going to see places like Big Ben, Westminster Abbey, Trafalgar Square, London Bridge and Tower Bridge, and as I say, we're going to get down near the palace to do the change there, and I'll explain all about that as we get nearer to the palace itself. So sit back, enjoy yourselves, and we will inform you all about London. Of the United Kingdom, and the United Kingdom made up of Northern Ireland, Scotland, Wales and England itself. Now the United Kingdom has a population of about 75 to 80 million people. But down here in London, now London covers about 640 square miles. We have two cities here in London, the City of Westminster and the City of London. Surrounding those two cities, we have 32 local government areas known as boroughs. And that metropolis covers about 640 square miles, and we have a population of about 8.5 million people that live here in Greater London. But you're in an area called Kensington, and this is on the west side of London. Basically, as you came through, you may have been pointed out at Kensington Palace, one of the royal palaces where Queen Victoria was born, Princess Diana lives, and now William, Harry, Kate and George all live down at Kensington Palace. And so Kensington started really in the 1700s, so a lot of the houses that you see here, like on the right hand side, date from the late 17s, early 1800s, as they were near the royal court up at Kensington Palace. But of course, the Victorians and Queen Victoria, husband Prince Albert, set up a great exhibition back in Hyde Park that we've just seen up at the top there. And this great exhibition back in 1851 made a fair amount of profit, and Prince Albert said that what he wanted was this profit to be ploughed into this area for more education. And we have three major museums here. The first one coming up on your left hand side as we turn left will be the Natural History Museum. This is full of stuffed animals and dinosaurs and fossils and all sorts of items like that. Then we actually have the Science Museum, and covering science from all the ages. We even have one of the Apollo spacecraft in there that took a journey to the moon. And then we also have the Victoria and Albert Museum, and that's all about design and fashion. If you've worn it, had it displayed in your house or place of worship or what have you, it will be in the Victoria and Albert Museum. So this is the first one here on your left, known as the Natural History Museum, and you can see all of these carved type of animals by the windows and up near the roof there, and typical later Victorian type of architecture here. The great thing about these museums is they're actually free to enter. So you don't have to pay to go into these free museums. So for people here in London or many of our visitors, they can make many visits here to the Natural History Museum. Most of these larger houses now that you see on the right, that at one stage, as I said, would have been the aristocracy, the rich people, the people who were attending the royal courts. A lot of them now are apartments. We have the French embassy here. Some of them are offices. Not many of them now are what we would call single dwelling units. They're too expensive to be single dwelling units. Some of them are hotels. You see the various flags from different countries as a part of the different embassies. And now on this side of London, the west side of London, has always been the slightly richer side, and so you have a lot more people with money, where on the eastern side of London tends to be in certain areas the poorer part of London. But certainly the money here is reflected in some of the shops round and about. Some of them quite expensive type of shops to go into. Some of the accommodation here is very, very expensive. We're going to be passing on the left-hand side in just a few seconds. A 3-bedroomed house, so that's 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, a lounge, a dining room, a kitchen and a study. Just up this next road on the left hand side, recently it went for £40 million for that. If you're renting something like that, it's going to cost you £3,000 to £4,000 per week to actually rent something like that. Some of the accommodation over the other side, again 3-bedroom apartments, we are talking of £1.5 million to buy, again perhaps to £1,500 to £2,000 per week to actually rent.
So, what does that say about England? Well, it's strangely enough, the average wage here in London is about £27,000 per year, of which, once you start earning over £10,000, you actually pay income tax at about 22%. Now that income tax varies right the way up to our highest grade, up to 45% of your wages. We also have to pay out of our wages between 2.5% and 5%. Yeah, it's open. 2.5% and 5% of our wages for what we call national insurance. This looks after our health care, or some of our health care, and our old age pension. So for the average Londoner, living here is not really a possibility. But there is one store you may have heard of about in London. It's coming up on the right hand side with the white flags and the green canopies, this terracotta type building. This is the famous department store called Harrods, owned by the Qatar royal family, and they bought it about a couple of years ago from the Egyptian El Fayed for about £1.1 billion. Harrods is perhaps better known for its food hall that they have here. Superfood laid out if you want pheasants, or you want champagne, or if you want caviar, that type of thing, very much so here at Harrods on your right hand side. And usually a nice display in the windows, but it is just a big department store, but the price of the goods tends to be rather expensive. So London actually started back with the Romans. The Romans came here about 50 AD, and they made their way up from the south coast up here and made a settlement by the main river, the River Thames, which we will be seeing later on. And then really London started to grow, and certainly by the 1000s, London was the largest, most populated city in the whole of the known world. And it really kept that title up until the late 18s, early 1900s, when some of the Asian cities took over really the amount of people and space inside them. So London has had this quite vast history. It's an amazing international city. London has over 140 different languages spoken here. We have millions of visitors from all around the world coming here to visit our history, of course our royal family, and some of our traditions. So a very, very big international city. Now you're going to be seeing some of that city, and you're going to be experiencing a little bit, just for a little short while, at Oxford Street. There will be some shopping, but you're going to have to be leaving about 4:30ish this afternoon to get up to Harwich or so. Your today's plan is the city tour this morning, and then have some lunch, then over to Madame Tussauds, then down for a quick shop at Oxford Street before your journey up through the English countryside via the motorways up to the port of Harwich for your journey onwards into Europe. Now, looking at the weather forecast for most of Europe where you're going, it's going to be like this. Britain's going to get a lot warmer over the next 3 or 4 days, and so's most of Europe. So hopefully you won't be disturbed by too much cold weather or too much rain as you travel on this great exploration that you're having in Europe. Now, just again, a couple of pointers. It's going to happen in other cities where you perhaps have guides. We will try and always stop where we can for photographs, but your local guide will know where a coach can stop and where it can't stop. In London, it is very limited to where coaches can stop. We have very few parking bays for coaches, so we have in London. When you're with a guide, the guide will always try and lead you through and take you through to places, but stick with the guide, don't go wandering off, because it's very easy in some of these cities to get lost. And certainly when you do Paris or Rome or places like that, very easy if you don't keep an eye. Now, as we get out the coach today, it's very easy to follow me because I've got this bright yellow flag. There are other Thomas Cook groups in London today, so don't necessarily 7 bathrooms, a lounge, a dining room, a kitchen, a study, a gymnasium, a roof garden and a small pool, and this just costs £145 million to actually buy. We do tend to find with the price of these properties, a lot of foreign investors come here and invest in some of these properties in London, which of course then makes them even more expensive, so that the normal Londoner can't really necessarily afford to live here in the centre of London. But what we're doing at the moment is we're running down the side of Hyde Park. You will see this a little bit later on. Hyde Park, we started off at Hyde Park at the Albert Hall there, and this is this area of 800 acres of open land in the centre of London. And it's one of the royal parks here in London. The royal parks consisting of Kensington Gardens, Hyde Park, Green Park and St James's Park. And they used to be just for the royals to go hunting, but now are these huge, great big public parks. So here again is another part of Hyde Park. You can go horse riding here, you can go skateboarding, you can go swimming, there's an open air theatre here, you can just walk around and relax. Now, I know Thomas Cook always puts you in a fairly good hotels wherever you go with them, but if you look on the right, the one with the scaffolding, this is just having a refit at the moment. Just slightly out of Thomas Cook's reach, this one. The top room starts at £25,000 per night, and the lower rooms actually start at somewhere about £750 per night. So just slightly out of Thomas Cook's reach, that one there. But we're coming up to this area called Hyde Park Corner, and this area is devoted to a military hero, and that military hero is called the Duke of Wellington. Now, the Duke of Wellington was this person who won the Battle of Waterloo against Napoleon Bonaparte back in 1815. He later became a Prime Minister in this country, and he was given this house that is up here on the left-hand side, and this area really dedicated to him. So in the centre you see the Victory Arch with Victory on a chariot. If you're doing Paris, this is a smaller version really of the Arc de Triomphe, but the same type of principle. And the house belonging to the Duke of Wellington is coming up on the left-hand side. This house with the columns and the green railings outside, known as Apsley House, and the present Duke of Wellington still lives here. And this has a very unique address to it. It's called Number 1 London. And that's because when it was built in the mid-18s, it was the first major house you came to on the outskirts of London. So it's got this unique address of Number 1 London. So you can see from the 1800s where you've been travelling from, basically mid-1800s, this was the start of London around here. And you can see how London expanded because you've been travelling through it for a long period. Have an area called Park Lane, and that's where some of our major hotels are. You'll be seeing the top end of this when you perhaps go into Oxford Street later on, but we have the hotels like the London Hilton, the Dorchester and the Grosvenor Hotel, all 5-star hotels set up here on Park Lane. Now, as I say, most of war memorials are here, but if you look to the right and the front, you may see a couple of stone pillars over the far side where those red buses are. Now, they're war memorials to the people of India who came over here or helped us out during the First and Second World War. But those stone pillars on the far right-hand side. So we're coming down to this area called Piccadilly. And over on your right is, again, one of these royal parks called Green Park that actually leads down towards Buckingham Palace. And it was just along here, roughly where the Park Lane Hotel is, just here, where in fact the Queen spent some of her childhood. As a young girl, she wasn't born to be queen because her uncle was going to become king. He did become king, Edward VIII, but he gave up his throne, and that then made her father the king, and Princess Elizabeth came out to be the position that she was likely to be the next queen. So she really hasn't moved a great deal because there she was as a princess, moved down into Buckingham Palace when her father was king, then moved out when she got married to Clarence House, then moved back to Buckingham Palace, of course, when she became queen. So she hasn't really moved a great deal. So Piccadilly here, as I say, it's over on the left-hand side. What we have is this area called Mayfair. And Mayfair again being a fairly exclusive place to live. If you have got a Mayfair address, you are considered to really have a lot of money. Some of the nightclubs around here to go into, you'd be perhaps paying £100, £150 just entrance fee to get into the nightclub, and you could be paying £30 or £40 just to get a drink. People who have money live round here. A lot of shops here that deals with personal services, so you can have shirts made for you, hats made for you, suits made for you, shoes made for you. There's a place just down here on the right called Lobs, where they will personally make your shoes for you. A pair of shoes will cost you approximately £2,000 to £3,000 for a pair of shoes. And the great thing about this is they take a mould of your foot, and then the shoe is made to fit you, so it's not like most of us who buy general shoes from a store where one may be a bit tight and one may be a bit loose. These actually fit you perfectly. Again, over on the right where the scaffolding is again a famous food store here called Fulton and Mason's. The royal family get a lot of their goods there from Fulton and Mason's. But as we come down here, we're going to see perhaps that first area in London you may have heard about is called Piccadilly Circus. with this famous statue in the centre, known as Eros, really dedicated to one of our prime ministers during the 1800s, called Lord Shaftesbury. And Lord Shaftesbury did a lot to try and alleviate poverty. And one of those things was that if you educate children, then hopefully they will come out of poverty. So what he did is he actually stopped children up to the age of 8 working, and between the ages of 8 and 12 he reduced their hours to a 65-hour week maximum. And then they had to go to school on a Sunday, and they had to learn reading, writing and arithmetic. And so he was greatly praised for what he tried to do in that sense. So Piccadilly Circus here, coming up on your right hand side as we go round. We're very near Theatreland. Up to the left is Shaftesbury Avenue, where we have a number of our theatres. We have over 40 theatres operating in and around London. So as we go round here, and we are going to enter an area called the Hay Market, and that's literally what it used to be, the market that sold the hay. Before the motor car was king, the only way to get about was of course by walking or by horse and horse and carriage. So here for many centuries was where people used to come and buy fresh hay for their stables. There used to be blacksmiths and vets here and buying and selling horses. But certainly by the early 1800s, this area had degraded, really become a bit of a slum. And by the early to mid 1800s, they decided to knock this whole area down and to rebuild it. Now over on the right, where those people are standing there, is Her Majesty's Theatre. This is one of our major theatres and has a famous musical on there called Phantom of the Opera. Now Phantom of the Opera has now been on show for 27 years. Now what we're going to do now is go round, and you want your cameras ready to actually go into a place called Trafalgar Square. Now Trafalgar Square is dedicated to, again, one of our heroes, a naval hero, Horatio Lord Nelson, who went out and found the French fleet off the coast of Spain, attacked the French fleet and sunk it, and stopped the French invading Britain. Unfortunately, Nelson died during this battle, and when they were redesigning this whole area, they decided to make this dedicated square to the famous battle and to Lord Nelson himself. So you'd see the fountains playing, you'd see the big column at one end of the square with Nelson standing at the top. We also have one of our major galleries here in London. At the top end of the square, you can see it with the red banners coming down and the dome. This is called the National Gallery and the National Portrait Gallery. Basically paintings from 1300s through to the 1900s of painters all the way around the world are here at the National Gallery and the National Portrait Gallery. Again, one of those great adventures by the fact that this is free to enter. And as we go round the corner, on your left you're going to see this blue cockerel standing there. This stone that it's standing on has always been used for the last few years for modern artists. And every few months, every 6 or 7 months, the piece of art that is there is actually changed. And at the moment we have this blue cockerel that stands here at Trafalgar Square. Now what we're going to do is go round Trafalgar Square and go down to a place where we hope we can get a parking place, and we're going to then go and have a little walkout, which will include the changing of the guards at 12 o'clock. Now, Trafalgar Square here used for lots of things: festivals, shows, open air theatre. We also have lots of open air entertainment. At the moment we seem to have a duck in a suit or a pelican in a suit running around here. But yeah, certainly use Trafalgar Square for the New Year, when you ring in the New Year on December the 31st. It's also used as a place for political rallies, where people actually come out and speak here. So it's a well-known, loved area. I don't know quite what the duck is doing. So here we are at Trafalgar Square. It's beautiful fountains going through, and as I said, you can see the blue cockerel there. This modern piece of artwork. Now when we get out in a few minutes, just a few bits of advice. I'm not taking you anywhere you can spend money, so you don't need to bring any bags or anything with you. All I would say is you want to bring with you is your cameras, and because we are going to see a few things, and we will end up near Buckingham Palace. We're going to be off the coach for about an hour, perhaps just slightly longer. We will also find a place for you for some toilets. That's going to be near the time we get back on the coach, so somewhere about 12:30 we'll find a place for toilets for you, and you're going to have a view of this beautiful St James's Park. I'm going to try and get you to what we call horse guards to see some of the horses there, and then we'd walk down through St James's Park towards Buckingham Palace and watch the changing of the guard. It's fairly warm out there. Well, for me it's fairly warm. For you perhaps this temperature is a little bit cooler, but as I said, there are going to be lots of people, so don't bother taking all your bags and everything else with you. If you've got a bottle of water you may want to take with you, fine, but it's best to leave handbags and bags, precious things here on the coach. They're all very, very safe on the coach, and just bring your cameras with you. And if there are any younger children, just be aware that we will be in crowds. You may need to hold your child's hand for a while. So you get a brilliant view up there on your left of Trafalgar Square, the lions there guarding Nelson on his column. You can see the beautiful fountains here, and how people can just come out here and enjoy it. You find lots of people around and about, perhaps come out at lunchtime on a day like today and just sit here and eat their lunch, etc. All the way around here. So we're going to go round the roundabout now and through a place called Admiralty Arch, and into the driveway called the Mall that leads down towards Buckingham Palace. And what we're hoping is we'll be able to get the coach lock. We are going to end up down at Buckingham Palace. So
माइक बंद है
Mic, no mic. बोल दो बाद
કેટલા બધા પથરા વાવ્યા એ લોકોએ જ્યાં બધા મોન્યુમેન્ટ એટલા
Where to go first?
sorry,
Where to go first?
we're going to go up there, across here, see the guards at Horse Guards Parade. Then we're going to walk down through the park to get there for the changing of the guard. So move away a bit from the coach door, that allows people to get off behind you. So again, you're going to come across this in your European tour, going to be outdoors. Usually the guide walks fairly slowly. And usually your tour manager, if you've got a guide, is at the back. But I know this is all new, but if you start wandering off, we can lose you. So I walk fairly slowly. If you want to ask questions, come and ask me questions. And I will stop in certain places that I know you can get a good photograph. What we're going to do to start with is cross the road and look at a place called the Horse Guards Parade. And we're going to get you standing near some horses and some soldiers of the Queen's Cavalry Regiment. Okay? Any what?
જો પોલીસ વાળો તૈયાર ઉભેલો જોયો અહીંયા
चलो मैडम रास्ता क्रॉस करने का है
चलो yellow let wedges अपने ऊपर 300 साल ये लोग राज किया, कोई नवाई नहीं है। इतने डिसिप्लिन लोग हैं। એવું નહીં ચાલે, આની સાથે દોડવું પડશે, નહીં તો કાંઈ નહીં જોવાય તાર। ફોટા પાડવા માટે ઊભા જ નહીં રહેવાનું। हाँ પકડીને પૂરી દેશે તને પકડીને પૂરી દેશે ક્યાં ઊભી તો રહેતી જ નહીં આવું આમ દોડ્યા જ કરવું પડશે વોક વોક એન્ડ વોક તો આ બધા ગાર્ડ ને બદલાવે ઘોડા ઓલું છે ને એ ગાર્ડ્સ ને ચેન્જ કરે અત્યારે એ બધી ફોર્મલ વસ્તુઓ આ લોકોએ જ બધી ડેવલપ કરી છે આપણે ત્યાં તે સાવ ફાલતુ ગાર્ડ ઓફ ઓનર આપવાનું નામ કરવાનું તેમ એ આ બધા બ્રિટિશરોએ બધી એવી મેથડ બહુ ઘુસાડી દીધી ઇન્ડિયામાં આપણે બધા રાષ્ટ્રપતિને નાને તેને બધા ગાર્ડ ઓફ ઓનર શું કામ આપી આ લોકોનું કામ જો આવ્યા ઘોડા ઓલા બધા चल 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 सॉरी चल जल्दी फोटो एम नहीं पाड़वानो रस्ता जो आ स्टेडियम है बधा बेसता हशे छोटू
the horses riding down here. Okay. The regiment that is coming out is what is known as the Lifeguard Regiment. They are one of the 2 cavalry regiments that look after the Queen. Yeah, we've got to stay back. Don't go any further, please. Okay, so just gather round a moment, Thomas Cook. We'll go and see some more of those in just a minute. Thomas Cook!
Dawn.
આ કઈ પ્લેસ છે આનું નામ શું છે હા
આને પૂછ
એ ભાંગરોડી નથી તમે પૂછો Which place is this going?
Yeah, wait till everybody's here. Saves me repeating this all.
લોકો આપણને બહુ હેરાન કરે
Slow
So, I know the timing of the changing of the guard at Buckingham Palace, so unfortunately we've got to be down there in about 20 minutes time,
So I'm going to take you through here where you can see some more of the horses. But then to the tilt yard, you know, where they're in the armour with the lance and they're sitting there hitting each other. Henry VIII used to do the tilt yard here. What we're going to go through is through the archway. We've literally got 5 minutes there, take some pictures, and then we've got to start walking down to the palace, or we won't get there on time.
હિસ્ટોરિકલ પ્લેસમાં છે ને ગાઈડને જ પકડેલો રાખવાનો તો આપણને બધી ખબર પડે, નહીં તો અડધો ઉપરથી જ જતું. ઘોડા ઉપર જ હતું ને બધું પહેલાં તો. કાલા ઘોડા. એની હારે ઊભી રહી જતી 2 મિનિટ અહીંયા સાથે ઊભી રહે જલ્દી કરો. આની બાજુમાં, એની બાજુમાં, આની યા થેન્ક યુ. કમ चलो चलो नहीं फोटा पाड़ो
चलो नाही राणीकडे कुठे इकडे नाही बकिंगहॅम पॅलेसला राणी ही त्यांची जागा असते ही. चलो चलो चलो. अरे काय को गाडी आहे लिफ्ट्स.
This one.
Not the stone one, the brick one with the windows in the roof. That is the back end of 10 Downing Street. Okay. Follow me, folks.
टीम झंडा वाला. अरे जाव જ છું ભાઈ, પણ હું એ કરું જ છું ને. પાડી લે ને તું પર્પઝ ને.
Up there is part of 10 Downing Street where our Prime Minister lives. Tim, what you said?
नाला चलो ना.
Sorry, sir.
What you said about this?
I say that brick building is part of the down all of them are funny. That's the one find out the way people try to get through. Sorry? Buckingham Palace? Yeah, we are going to go.
Hans. Panjali College. Guccia. Guccio ave. Please. No problem. बहुत हमें घुसी जाए
That time.
Good.
24 hours, changes over with the next resident. At 11:13, from the palace over there that we'll see when we go back to the coast, what we call the old guard walks down Buckingham Palace. The new guard were formed up here, and in 11:27 they walk out. They then spend a while before the old guard
अभी मिस हो गया वो
टाइम नहीं है क्या बोल रहा है ये सब खाने का इसमें कुछ था ही नहीं.
They come out of the palace, down that road, into the gates there, the band stops there, the guards will fall out. So this is the best position for the close photograph. Afterwards, what we would do is we're going to go over to the palace. You still cannot get very near the palace. It's just, if you want to see the railings of the palace, you have to be there at 9 o'clock in the morning. So we go and get you in a position where you're a bit of a distance away, you can get the whole palace. So send military personnel here to do the change. There may be other military personnel from the Navy or from the Royal Air Force that also does the change here. So it's not always what you expect. Because of her status as head of the Commonwealth, when your president was here 3 years ago, for 2 weeks we had 4 Indian regiments here doing the change. So it's not always those red ones. It's not every day, only doing April, May and June do we change the guards every 24 hours.
તો આ બધું છે બ્રિટિશરોની બહુ ખર્ચા ટેક્સ કેટલા છે ભયંકર જૂના બ્રિટિશરો અહીંયા રહી જ ન શકી ગયા
તમને ઝાડને
ઘરની અંદર
બધા હાવ નાના નાના
એટલે હિસ્ટ્રી જાણવી જરૂરી છે બધા ચાઇનીઝ
હા
29 કન્ટ્રીઝના ગાર્ડ આવે છે બધા જુદા જુદા અને યુનિફોર્મ જુદા આવે જ્યાં જ્યાં બ્રિટિશ રૂલ હતો ને બધાના ગાર્ડ છે
ઇન્ડિયન હશે
જ
ચાઇનામાં તો નહોતા ને હોંગકોંગમાં
જે હોય
મોટું નથી દેખાતું કાલિદાસ
પેલો વચ્ચે છે ને એને કુકડાની આરે મેચ થઈ ગઈ છે
આ શેમાંથી આવું ઘર બનાવ્યું
What colour face their sword in the scabbard?
Sure.
We had some like Italian paparazzi, and they were like all about
Sorry.
we took pictures together, like these random people.
Where this from? ના ના આમાં આવે છે બધું થોડા થોડા માથા બાથા આવે પણ લાઈવ લાગે આપણે ચાલતા હોય ઓસ્ટ્રિયન આ ઓસ્ટ્રિયન છે જોયું ऑस्ट्रेलिया ऑस्ट्रेलिया
निकालो भाई फोटो लें कहाँ जा रहे हो
Okay, so welcome here to the newest royal palace in London. The building you are looking at is better known as Buckingham Palace, the official residency of the Queen here in the United Kingdom and London. The palace itself started off in the 1600s as a private residence to the Duke of Buckingham. During the 1700s, it became a private royal residence. And during the 1800s, under Queen Victoria, it became the official residence of the monarchy here in London. The palace has over 700 rooms inside. The Queen's private apartments are on the right-hand side of the building, where she has a suite of 15 rooms over there, and so does her husband, the Duke of Edinburgh. It takes over 400 staff to run the palace. the Queen, if you look up to the flagpole above the palace, you will notice that the Union flag is flying. I say Union because it is only Union Jack when this flag is flown on water. If the Union flag is flying, this means the Queen is not there. The Queen, rather like me, has her own flag, but the Queen's flag is better than mine. She has something called the Royal Standard, and wherever the Queen is in residence, the Royal Standard flies. At the moment, she is down at the other official home called Windsor Castle. So she has two official residencies in England, Windsor Castle and Buckingham Palace. In Scotland, she has one official residence in Edinburgh called Holyrood House. She has two private residences, one in Scotland called Balmoral and one in England called Sandringham. The palace itself entertains over 70,000 people per year, from small dinner parties that may be only 5 or 6, right the way up to the large garden parties that have 7,000 people to the garden party. There are 40 acres of parkland and gardens behind the palace. So, the balcony that you see is the famous balcony where at least once a year the Queen comes out on her official birthday parade called Trooping of the Colour. The Queen doesn't usually appear on the parade on the balcony for any other reason unless there's a wedding or some special reason. But if you know the Queen's movements, you can quite often spot her in and around London or wherever she may be. So take your pictures, then we'll go and find you a washroom, because I know some of you are desperate for a washroom. So take the pictures.
Round. Can you go round?
Yeah.
Round this. Chal jaldi.
Chal ne.
Ay, wala na go kable. The chocolate.
આ ઓલી બ્લેક ટેક્સી હોય ને બધી ટેક્સીનું કાંઈક કીધું હતું ને
Isa lang ang diferensya may banda.
બધી ટેક્સીઓ જ છે.
Kami pero mas maraming kabayo.
ચલો
ના પ્રોટો નથી આ ટીલીએસસી ફેમિલીનું છે
એટલે તું ઊભી રહે હું તારો ફોટો પાડે TLSC માં છોડ દે.
Victoria Memorial. Yeah, see, I think it's blocked off by that way, but I think we can do the, yeah. And you have a copy of that Queen Victoria Memorial down in Calcutta. There. It is gold plated at the top there, and we saw that guard change. So barracks is a place where the soldiers live, and so they've got quarters here. No.
Geezer house. Geezer house. AC nacho.
So what we're going to do now is, as I say, keep your cameras ready, because we keep going to be passing areas that you would like to take photos of. We're taking a bit longer than we thought for this morning, so we're just putting your midday meal back a little while, so that we can get some of the sights in. We're just going to do one more stop, and that is going to be on London Bridge, so you can get some pictures of Tower Bridge. Now, as we come down here, we're coming towards Parliament Square and the Palace of Westminster, the Houses of Parliament. So we do have a lot of government buildings and government departments in and along here.
Disciplined Scott guards.
Abang ka doon?
Suka.
Is અંદર જવા દે થોડુંક તો સારું. આપણે મૈસૂરનો પેલેસ, પછી ઇવન આપણે વડોદરાના પેલેસમાં કેટલા સરસ મોન્યુમેન્ટ્સ છે ને, તારે બધા એક એક કુંડા બધા
Home of coronation. All of our kings and queens since William the Conqueror back in 1066 have had their coronation at this church that is here in front of you. It's also a place of royal weddings. You may have watched Kate and William's wedding back in 2011, and a place of royal burials. People like Henry V, Henry III, Henry VII, Elizabeth I, Mary I, and a few others of the royals are buried here at Westminster Abbey. This beautiful building, that this one really dates from the 1400s, but there's part of this building that dates from the 1000s. Straight along, yeah. And we are coming into Parliament Square, and you are going to see that big clock tower. I know the young lad wanted to see the clock tower with Big Ben inside, the 13.5-ton bell. So that comes up on your right-hand side, where you can see this view of the clock tower, Big Ben, our legislature building. The Houses of Parliament are attached to that clock tower. The lower house, the House of Commons, and the upper house, the House of Lords. Our upper house has over 800 unelected lords and ladies of the land. And our House of Commons, the lower house, has 650 members of Parliament. So there you are, out at the front of the coach you can see that wonderful icon here of London, the Queen Elizabeth II Tower with that famous bell, Big Ben, inside. And the building, as I say, attached to the clock tower, that is the Houses of Parliament, or better known sometimes as the Palace of Westminster. So we're going to take a left up here and run down beside the Thames River, and I know somebody else said, are we going to see the London Eye today? Yes, we are. As we turn the corner, the London Eye will be across the other side of the river. This beautiful wheel here, set up for the year 2000. And there you can see on the right hand side the London Eye itself. It takes about 40 minutes to go round. It's got about 32 capsules, and each capsule holds about 25 people. And the river here is the main river. The River Thames itself, about 215 miles long. It is a big tidal river. It's still got a tide here. As you look across the river, you can see the green algae on the walls the other side, and the tide here is anywhere between 17 and 25 feet. Now the building on your left hand side, the white building, this is the Ministry of Defence. This looks after our Army and our Royal Air Force. And across the other side of this building we have nearly the Admiralty building that looks after our Navy. Oh, they really are, yes. Now, a lot of these boats that you see here on the side of the river, some of them are permanently moored here. This one, the Tattershall, acts as a bar and also has a small theatre on board, a comedy theatre where you can go, but permanently moored there. There are other boats here that you can have lunch and dinner on, or just take sightseeing trips up and down the river. This river here, right the way down from its source virtually down to Tower Bridge, is a pleasure river. Not much commercial business goes by the river nowadays. And as you start to look out through the trees to the right hand side, one, you can see that dome of St Paul's Cathedral, that major cathedral in the centre of London, and you start to see modern London down at the far end with our skyscrapers down there. Over on the right, the stone monolith you see is known as Cleopatra's Needle, given to us by the people of Egypt after Nelson, who we saw at Trafalgar Square, won that Battle of the Nile in Egypt. It's about 5,000 years old. This big mansion or palace here on the left, this is known as Somerset House. Used to belong to the Lords and Dukes of Somerset, and the Somerset family were related to Henry VIII through his third wife, Jane Seymour. So it was also a royal palace for a time, but now it's a museum and an art gallery here. So it's a beautiful day out on the Thames. Lots of people would take sightseeing trips on some of these boats up and down. But we're coming to the end of being in the city of London. Just further down here, not this set of traffic lights, but the next set of traffic lights. If you look to the left and the right hand side, you will notice these silver griffins or silver dragons, and this means that we are entering the city of London, the original city here. So there they are, the true dragons either side being the city of London. And just up here on the left we have what we call the Inner and Middle Temple. This is where a lot of our barristers, judges, solicitors have their offices in the Inner and Middle Temple area. And across the river there's apartments. Of course, if you're having an apartment overlooking the river, you are paying a lot of money for those, and there's restaurants over there, that side of the river. So we're on the north side of the river at the moment, so the other side is the south side of the river. Up by the one. And we're going to go underneath Blackfriars Bridge. Blackfriars is a name from the old monastery that used to be here, which under Henry VIII he actually got rid of most of the monasteries round and about as we changed from the Roman Catholic religion to the English Protestant Church. Now, this, amazingly enough, is the oldest part of London, but always also the newest part of London. London has had some disasters in its time. The first major disaster perhaps was 1666, when there was a great fire in London that lasted about 4.5 days and burned most of the city to the ground. You then had it being rebuilt, and then come the 1800s, the great aspect of the Industrial Revolution led into new building methods, and the Victorians tore down some of their 200-year-old buildings and put up new buildings. And then comes the Second World War, where London certainly here was very heavily bombed from aerial bombardment and destroying great swathes of the city. Over 22,000 civilians died. And then from the 1950s we start to rebuild again. So although this is the oldest part of London, because of the problems we've had, it's also becoming the newest part of London, with many new buildings being put up. London is, the city of London is a big financial centre. Because of where we stand in the world, the 0 degree meridian line, it means that our money markets can talk to the Asian markets and the American markets on the same trading day. And this means that many financial institutions worldwide have offices here in London to take advantage of that.
just like, you know, there'll be an input thing.
चला 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 मुरारी चलो हेलो
So we've come out now of the City of London and we've crossed the river from the north to the south, and we're in the borough of Southwark. And we have one of our major rail stations here, London Bridge rail station. As I was saying earlier to you, many people who work in London have to commute, and we use the railways. This is the station that I use to go home with, and we have about 5 million people per day that use the railways. Another lot of roadworks. 5 million people per day who use the rail network. Now, we don't have a or Gatwick Airport. This is one of the stations that you would use. Along here on the left, you have a lot of old warehouses. Between Tower Bridge and London Bridge was where the old London docks used to be for many centuries. But with containerisation coming in as it did starting in the 60s, the docks here couldn't cope with containers. So we moved our docks further down the river to a place called Tilbury, a little bit further down. And then a lot of these came into disrepair. But from about the 1980s, we started repairing this area. And this is what I would say is quite typical London at the moment. You have the yellow brick building there on the left, which is from the late 1700s, early 1800s, to this black building here, also on the left, which is from about 2003, 2004, something like that. So you have this old and new very much pushed in together all the way around London as this developing city most of the time. So when we go off to your midday meal, you can leave everything on the coach. It will be there for you when you get back, and you really don't need to take anything else. You've seen the back of 10 Downing Street, the changing of the guards, Buckingham Palace, London Bridge and Tower Bridge. So we hope you've enjoyed your tour around this morning, so thank you for your time and attention. As I say, as we get off the over the traffic lights, we're going to get off again and just walk a couple of minutes up the road here to your restaurant there, that they should be ready and waiting for us. And as I say, as you go further into Europe, hopefully the weather stays nice for you, and that you have a good time in Europe. Oh, It's, yeah. Okay.
Okay, let's get off quickly.
આવવાનું છે ઇન્ડિયામાં. હા, ઇન્ડિયામાં આવવાનું છે આર્ટિસ્ટ. ઓલા વોલમાર્ટ ને એવા બધા છે ને, એવું આ એક ગ્રુપ છે આખું, મોટા સ્ટોરનું બધા. કાલે મીનુ નહોતી. Gelgota.
In the time of 2.5 hours underground, under the water, by train. It's the Eurostar rail. Not a church, it's a St. Pancras station. Yes, church, yes, I heard it's church.
Eurostar.
Okay, so cross on top, not necessarily be the church. Even if you saw, even if you have seen the Albert Memorial.
लोगों को दिखा दिया जी, यहाँ शिफ्ट करके पब्लिक आ गई, वो आ गई, ले लो फटाफट ले लो।
No, he said we are in tour back. I said I was waiting to see me. Like please go.
लाल किला ऐसे थोड़ा बन गया था।
He was waiting.
मंदवा मजदूर से बना था। ताजमहल। Okay, now please listen up. Please listen up. Please listen up. I don't know how much time it is going to take to reach right now. I'm expecting 5 minutes. Okay, so we'll be back by 6.
लिफ्ट भी है. લેવા
उसका राना थी
એના જેવા જ
मैडम हाँ
memories. Eh? Madam Fasad. One Direction. अब द म्यूजिक वाला तो जाने पर पकड़ दे
चालू છે ને હે ચાલુ ચાલી છે એટલે
મારે પડા
ચાલ ચાલ
फोटो वायरस के वीडियो होता है
બે કરું છું ગોળ ભરો ને એને ગોળ પૂછાવ દે હું ત્યાં જા
जा जा ये बंद कर दे कैमरा गुप्ता जी ज़्यादा अच्छे लग रहे थे हैं गुप्ता जी यू आर लुकिंग बेटर आम पाचड़ न फर ने तू आ बाजू ऊभी रहे गोल गोल फरवा चामा श्वासनगर जेम्स बॉन्ड
ફોટો પાડ
उतार के वीडियो अंग्रेजी लागे जेम्स बॉन्ड with this burger Robin Williams
એટલીસ્ટ લખવું જ જોઈએ
લખેલું છે રોબિન વિલિયમ્સ જુડી ડેચ જેમ્સ બોન્ડમાં હોય છે ને ચાલો રોબિન વિલિયમ્સ
જો ઉપર
Bundle. So party.
To be or not to be? That's the question. Whether it is
સિંક્રોનાઇઝ કરેલું છે કે આપણો ફોટો એને ત્યાં પાડ્યો આ બાજુ દેખાય પાછું એનો જ સારું કહેવાય.
Åkte du också på det? Ja, jag åkte med din mamma. Med din mamma åkte jag samma tåget. Fast med någon annan.
અનુપ ની યારે જોયું
આપણે અમદાવાદ સાયન્સ સિટીમાં
એ તો 3D હતું અનુપ ને મીઠું ની યારે નથી રાઉન્ડ ઓલામાં આપણે ક્યાં ગયા હતા હૈદરાબાદ
જોયું
We should probably tell the others. Hulk is going to be angry. You wouldn't like him when he's angry.
They should be here by now. What time is it?
I don't हाँ मैं वही बोल रही हूँ कि कुछ तो ऐसे टिप बीप के लिए पैसे देते हैं तो उसमें हाँ
ट्रेन
मेरी मतलब मैं टीचर हूँ ITCL में तो अब तो वो रिलायंस ने ले लिया इसलिए मैं रिफाइनरी थोड़ा जानती हूँ इसलिए मैं
हम मीटिंग में जाते थे मगर रिफाइनरी में काम नहीं किया सूरत में अपने बहुत सूरत में बहुत सारा 14 साल तो खाली भावनगर खाली एक बार गए विजिट के लिए
भावनगर
भावनगर के आई हैव सीन दैट भावनगर में गया हूँ एक बार